Hi viewers, welcome back to our channel A to Z Dentistry Dental Lectures MADC. Today's topic of discussion is from connective tissue pathology, giant cell fibroma. Connective tissue pathology can be broadly divided into two. First one is benign and second one is malignant. How can we identify whether it is benign or malignant? There will be a suffix which is added to the basic terminology, then it will be benign. Example is fibroma. Basic terminology is fiber, OMA is added to it, then it will become fibroma. What about malignant variant? The term sarcoma is added to it. So it will become fibrosarcoma, then it is malignant variant. Today's topic of discussion is giant cell fibroma. So it is a benign lesion. It is well explained with the help of normal fibroma. Comparison will help you to remember this particular lesion. So first of all, where you can see giant cell fibroma? Most common site is mandibular gingiva, which is followed by maxillary gingiva, tongue and palate. Whereas normal fibroma is most commonly seen on buccal mucosa, opposite to the line of occlusion. Considering the age group, giant cell fibroma will be evident between 10 to 30 years of age. Normal fibroma will be seen most commonly on 3rd, 4th and 5th decade of life. Normal fibroma have female predilection. Here in giant cell fibroma, we don't have such things. How can we identify giant cell fibroma? The key feature is size. Size will be very small when comparing with the normal fibroma. Rest of the features are almost same. It can be either sessile or pedungulated one. It appeared as a normal lesion, and one more feature is there. Instead of very smooth surface in fibroma, here we will be having two variants. One is smooth surface, and here we are having papillary lesion. That means there will be finger-like projections. The picture shows the same. In some cases, we will be having lesions which may be crossing the interdental space. Now we are moving towards differential diagnosis. Giant cell fibroma having DDs, squamous papilloma, irritation fibroma, pyogenic granuloma, peripheral giant cell granuloma. Now we are looking towards the histopathological aspect of giant cell fibroma. In normal fibroma, we are having so much of collagen fibers, fibroblast, fibrocytes, blood vessels, all those things will be there. Here, peripheral areas of lesion shows an encapsulated mass of loose fibrous connective tissue that contains numerous characteristics such as large, plump, spindle-shaped and stellate fibroblast, some of which are multinucleated. Central areas shows typical fusiform fibroblast. Surface epithelium is corrugated and it may be atrophic in nature. Here you can see thin elongated retiridges when comparing with the flat retiridges which is seen on fibroma. Immunohistochemistry reveals vimentin positivity. That means these multinucleated giant cells are fibroblast phenotype in origin. This is a picture which showing the above mentioned features. That means hyperkeratinized squamous stratified epithelium with long and thin projections directed to lamina propria, and in the connective tissue stroma which carries bundles of collagen fibers, fibroblast, giant cells, etc. So in this picture, A is connective tissue, B is surface epithelium, C is giant stellate shaped fibroblast, D is binucleated fibroblast. Multiple stellate cells with one or two nuclei and basophilic cytoplasm within a fibrous connective tissue stroma. That is the classical feature for giant cell fibroma. Now we are moving towards the treatment part. We can do a simple conservative surgical excision. Thanks for watching.